guys, welcome to Garden with Courtney. I'm super duper excited to be sharing this video with you, even though it's kind of a little bit of a downer video, because if you see it in the title, I kind of failed epically. If you've seen the last video, you'll know, but if not, go watch it. I was preparing for frost. We had a couple of nights where it was going to be really cold, and we had frost the next morning. So I was covering my plants, taking measures to hopefully that I wouldn't lose any. But I lost quite a few. I lost just about all the green beans that I had planted, and I lost all 5 of the tomato plants that I planted. So stay tuned, and I'll tell you what I did wrong. After taking a second look at these tomato plants that I thought were dead, there are some new growth on some of them, it looks like. So I'm just gonna wait and see what happens. I was literally getting ready to pull them up. So we're gonna wait and see what happens, and I'll let y'all know in the next video. So as you just seen, I pulled out some of the old plants that were dead, but I left some of them in there and just kind of raked them back into the soil, which, I mean, it won't hurt it or help it. It'll probably help it, not hurt it. So whichever way you prefer to do it, it'll just help give the ground a little bit more nutrients, really, as that dead stem kind of compost and stuff like that. So it won't really hurt it. So just rake it back in the soil if you have any dead plants. It's not going to hurt it. Or you can just pull them out. I did pull a lot of them out, but I didn't pull all of them out. So I raked quite a few of them in the soil. I did probably half and half, really. And then in the next probably week or so, I'm going to replant this bed back in green beans. I went ahead and wetted it. I didn't soak it a lot. I just kind of wetted the top of it. That way it kind of stays moist all the way down. Because if you, especially if you're going to get ready to plant, I would recommend not soaking your beds, but kind of water them and let that water seep through. That way when you do plant, your ground's already kind of moist, but you don't want it to be too moist. There's kind of a fine line there, is you kind of want to wet it a little bit on the top, just enough to make it look kind of wet, but you don't want to drown it, because if you do plant in soil that's extremely wet, you have the chance of your seeds not germinating, and literally just kind of I can't think of the term right now, but just literally not being able to germinate because it's too moist. It really depends on what you're planting, what seeds you're planting, but I recommend just kind of wetting it. That way your soil kind of stays moist throughout. Even if you don't have plants in there and you're getting ready to plant, go ahead and do that. Right now I'm just I've got some bell peppers that I'm gonna go ahead and transplant. So the first thing I do when transplanting is I take my garden hoe and I kind of make my row where I'm gonna plant my peppers, and then take them out. You want to be really careful that you don't damage the root system, and that's where a lot of people struggle with transplanting, is they're not gentle and they're not easy, which can hurt the root system, which will ultimately end up in your plants dying. So I generally like to kind of try to push up from the bottom if at all possibly can. And then part of that fell off, but I think we're still alright on that one. So we're gonna go ahead and plant them. And then you kind of want to place them as you go and put the dirt around them. And then we're going to do the next ones just the exact same way we did that one. Try to push up from the bottom. And then that one came out a little bit better. But as you can see, there's roots growing all through the side of that. And ultimately when you're taking them out, you just don't want to damage those, because it will result in your plants dying. And we don't want that. Thanks for watching. Hopefully next week's video will be a little bit more positive. Hopefully our tomatoes will look a little bit better, and we'll let you know. We'll keep you updated on everything that goes on. Thanks again. If you haven't already, click that subscribe button and that notification bell. That way you're alerted for every video we post. Click that thumb up button as well. Have a good one.